So I'm going to talk about the most obvious thing ever that I feel like we have neglected and still do to a degree. But before I get started into this, I want to say TikTok link in the description, PayPal donation link in the description. Give me a follow, throw me a donation if you see it in your heart. This is what, and oh, one more thing too. Starting next week at some point, I'm going to start link every video I make, just like this, where I talk about TikTok and PayPal for a split second. I'm going to say, hey, I started driving for Spark. I will put a referral link in the description. If you sign up for Spark and you do 10 deliveries, we both get $300 or $400. And this is the only part that sucks about this is you are working for like a third-party company for Walmart. So this was my hold-up on it, because I didn't want to work for a corporation. But you pick your own hours, you work when you want to work, and you average about $20 an hour, if not more. So it is worth it. I just want to throw that out there. If you feel like, a lot of you guys, I feel like, are in the spot to where you don't want to work these bullshit jobs, you're miserable, you want your own schedule, you want to make good money but not feel like you're dedicating your life to it, well, here's an alternative. Here's an option, my friends. So the most obvious thing ever is self-care, self-love, and getting yourself in order. But we're too eager to look outside to find an issue or a problem and get distracted by silly stuff such as politics, such as religion, such as people's opinions on music, on movies, on entertainment, on video game systems, consoles, on people's opinions about gender, about abortions, about all this stuff. Like, even the system, even though these things are here for a reason, it's just we get caught up on them. And it's a distraction. It's all hocus pocus. So you would think in your mind the most obvious thing is, well, I need to worry about myself. I shouldn't really be worried about all these other people and their opinions and all this nonsense that does not affect me, really. That's the game the mind plays. I just want you to understand and know this. Is the mind plays the game of deflecting things onto others, so it can be, it can have some weird right of staying the way it is and not calling itself out for what it is. It's a distraction. Literally, it's all hocus pocus. So that's the game it plays, though. Seriously, it does not want to admit that it's the only thing here and it's creating it all. It doesn't. So it will do anything and everything in its power to deflect that away from you. So you just got to overcome it. Now, again, I'm just going to touch on this, but the foods you put in your body, the drinks, like, you should not be drinking anything but water except on occasion, like milk or something. Like, I'm telling you this. Lots of water. The right food, fruits, vegetables, lean meats. Now, again, I'm not telling you not to eat cakes and pizza and ice cream and cheeseburgers, but I am saying limit them. Exercise is important beyond belief. Going outside in nature is important beyond belief. Going to sleep, getting proper sleep. All these are very important, fundamental things you have to do. So loving yourself is the most important thing. So this is something I noticed I was doing, is I feel like I'm never content with myself. And what I mean by that is, it's like I'm always chasing perfection with myself. And what made me realize this is people thought I was chasing perfection with reality, but I really wasn't. I'm just trying to make some improvements. But I really might be chasing perfection within myself, which I realized that once I correlated it to, oh, well, this can't be perfect because we will be miserable. So you have to love and accept yourself as you are. Imperfection is perfect. You see, it's a contradiction, but it's true. We don't ever want it to be perfect. but we do want to be able to gradually improve. The only problem is that mechanism is there for a reason. It's just it's got out of control. So you need to balance that out. It's not really, the need to improve is, again, it's there for a reason. You want to gradually improve, but you can't let it get out of control to the point where you cannot appreciate what you've done, where you are, and your only focus is on what you're doing wrong and what you need to fix. That is a miserable way to live. Like, that is the definition of the tyrannical father, and you're playing right into it. So, calm down. And also, this is just the fundamental foundations of living a good life. Like, seriously, is getting yourself under control. Like, mastering yourself. Finding and tuning what makes you feel good. What is causing you suffering. Finding and adjusting the people you're around that impact you in a negative way. It is the things you consume, and I'm not just talking about food. I'm talking about the news. I'm talking about types of music. I'm talking about I'm talking about everything. So, that's something you need to focus on, but you also need to accept and love yourself the way you are right now. And quit being a tyrant to yourself. So, another thing I would like to speak about is projections, seeing things you do not like in other people and correlating it with yourself and things you need to improve on or accept about yourself. Either way you want to look at it. So I watched a Leah Guru video for one of the first times in a very long time. And I saw myself in this man to a degree that it like... See, I want to thank people like this, because if it wasn't for people like Leah Guru and David Goggins and Jordan Peterson, I wouldn't have realized some things that I realized. And a lot of what I realized is how not to be, how not to act, how not to conduct myself, the type of mindset to stay away from. And unfortunately, I still see myself in Leah Guru to a degree, and it's just because I feel like this is what I do. So I feel like this is what he does. He sits and he thinks about these things all the time. So not only has he got to the truth, but he's added things on top of the truth, and he constantly thinks how to explain it, how to explain it better. And in doing this, he has built up a superiority complex, for one. He has a huge overinflation of an ego. And he still gets caught up in content and delivers it in a way that is... I don't know how to explain it to you unless you've watched the man. It's like... I'm not entirely sure, but that's things I need to work on in myself, like, I feel like, because I don't think I would have noticed that if it wasn't something within myself that I'm doing. So, but I do think about this all the time, and I used to think about how to explain it better, but now it's just I think about it, and I don't want to think about it. It has become a habit, and it's literally, like, I'm going to say 33% of what I think about every day or talk about is this. And I would love to get it down to like 20%. It might be more than 33%. So, but I really hope I don't come across like I have some superiority complex or I think I know more than people. It's just I fucking understand it. You have never and will never hear me make the claim like I'm above anyone or It's just that, man, listen, I understand some things that you yourself can understand if you would do it. I've told you how to do it. So I guess that's the way I look at it from, but maybe sometimes I do come across like that, and I don't mean to, and I don't want to. Because even that's getting caught up in content to a degree. Like, even though it's the truth and you need to understand and know these things, I still feel like that's a trap in the sense that you're not really living and enjoying life to the fullest you can because you're constantly thinking about it and talking about it. These are huge, huge things we need to work on. And again, don't take them super seriously, but realize these need to be addressed and fixed, especially you being like, you cannot be a tyrant to yourself. It's miserable. And you can't be on top of yourself and not let yourself be yourself. Like, it's insanity. So, it's a game of form in the play of life. I am you talking to you. I have always and will always be you talking to you. Because all there is us creating illusions, telling stories, having an experience, and then living life after that experience ends. Keep standing still, and you will see the turtle in all its glory. I love you, my friend. Wake up.